Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Purple Elephant Gaming here, and today we're playing some more Bloons Adventure Time Tower Defense. So, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm in a pretty bad mood today. I don't really know why. Well, that's not true, I sorta do. So I did go on a walk today right before this. That didn't put me in a bad mood, but it was a little irritating because the entire, literally everywhere was ice, which was a little irritating. And then I tried to record a video and hated it, basically. So, always puts me in a not so great mood, but I'm determined to get out of that. So you know what we're going to be doing? Well, obviously, since I had a failed video, I don't exactly know what I have a plan for today, so I should just decide I'd hit record and building some trinket builds up again, since a lot of them have failed. And you know what? Only one of you asked this, but you know what? I have a feeling some of you might like it. I do have older videos about it, but truth be told, my older videos just aren't all that great. Like, really, my videos from the past 2-3 weeks, they've been my best. So I figured I might sort of do something similar, but also in a way, I guess, redoing it. And it's sort of just I'm going to do an imparkour run on a map that I haven't done it yet. It's not going to be something crazy, because this is basically what you asked for, one of you. So I'm going to be doing that. Currently I'm building my Finn build, which is mostly reliant on making money. Obviously, he has 40 sword, decent damage. Do I need anything else besides that? Probably Miner's Pickaxe. There we go. I think it might actually be equipped on... No, it's not. Okay, Miner's Pickaxe. I'm sure I'm missing things, but I'm going to call that it. And I think that's it. Marcelin, your build's not good. Other things you're missing, such as... You are missing Time Machine? I think that's the main one. Oh no, Cosmic Gauntlet. So, I'm part of just been enjoying this game, and I really, honestly, it's a bit of a theory, truthfully. How many of you are actually, I'm actually curious a little bit, if you want to tell me too. How many of you guys are here because you're interested in the challenge, or like the video specifically? Or if you're more here just because I'm playing the game, more like just messing around. I'm curious to know, honestly. Let's take that for whatever reason, and let's give her ghost goats. Oh, not ghost goats. Ghost dogs? I think it's ghost dogs. I don't really know what it is. It's not ghost dogs. But yeah, so we're not going to be using Stu Monkey because I decided not to, and honestly, it's more fun to not use them. So I haven't even decided what map I'm doing, in case you're wondering how spur of the moment this is. So let's pick a good map, one that I'm getting close towards, because really this is my main goal right now, is to go for the chest. So this is a pretty easy map. Let's do Candy Fountain, it's going to be more fun. So we're going to work on these undead section. I'm pretty sure they do have zombie balloons on these higher levels, but I'm not sure. Do you have zombies? You do, okay. And we're just going to get into this, because it's going to be more fun that way. But yeah, so I'm a little curious about that. You did ask for it, and you know what? It's not horrible content. No different than playing chimps on a difficult map, or any map, really. So we're going to be starting with Finn, because, trusted you, you're curious. So I sort of get what you want. You're curious, like, if I'm not trying to do anything in particular, just how do I play my general runs. And I think that's pretty interesting to show. And once again, I have no idea what else to do, and just want to talk to you guys a bit, I guess. So, really, Finn is key. This is a generalized strategy. Back when I started this game, I don't really do it anymore, but when I was more new to the game, I did a lot of research, to tell the truth, on forums and being like, oh, what's good? And everyone was like, oh yeah, Finn, you place him, put all these money trinkets on him, he easily lets you survive so you can get all of your money-making defense and all that stuff up. So you don't have to worry about defense or anything, you're just going straight for money-making instead. So I did it, I worked towards my way up, and it really worked pretty well, honestly. So, yeah. So I think I do actually, now that I'm thinking this over as I'm playing this, I think I have an idea of what we're going to be doing today, more specifically, which you probably saw from the title, if I make this the title. I might change my mind yet, I honestly have not decided. I'm just going to be talking about my general build, I guess, as well as just random tips and tricks for the game, and talking about how, I guess, I progress through. What to be more specific? So we're gonna go for Lady Rainicore now. So this is a pretty cool thing. This is more specific. These three here, Warrior PV, Commander Cassie, Princess Bubblegum. well, I think Captain Cassie also has it. Crew increases max number of crew allies. So I feel like she does too, but it might be specific to her crew, which is an actual specific ally type. These guys, pirate crew. So I never bothered. Also, Commander Cassie's just cooler and does more damage and all that stuff. But these guys are really good because they have upgrades that increase your number of allies. Warrior PB works for everyone. She also gives discounts, so she's super nice. I do have a video with her specifically as the main focus for ally strategies. But Commander Cassie's Scramble, as well as Princess Bubblegum's To Me, which I believe you get at level 3. They're all super useful because they increase the number of allies you can get. Not all of them are money making. In fact, very few of them are because I believe Commander Cassie is the only one that does. Technically, Warrior PB and Commander Cassie, I usually use this for money making with Cobras and Demos and such. But Princess Bubblegum, it's for all sorts of things. Gumball's really nice to have more of. Lemon Hope, a couple others. Commander Cassie also has Water Nymphs. Just having more allies is really useful because here's the truth. I've now made 2 videos on this topic already, so I'm not going to go into too much detail since I did talk about it more then. Basically, allies are not defense. In the early game they might be when all of your characters are weak and everything. But once you get to the point of the game where you don't even have to be that far into it. Let's say, I don't know. You just open your first 2 epic wish orbs. You have like 2 pieces of epic loot, maybe 3. They're pretty good. They're helping you a lot. They're being your main defense, I guess. But you also have some more like mostly rare uncommons, a couple super rares in there to just give you decent characters builds. Possibly not at that point, maybe a bit later. But especially in the point of the game where I'm in, where I have a lot of epics and can basically choose for the most part my builds. My real limitation is not having multiple of every trinket. Allies just don't do damage anymore. They're not really useful for being your damage, so you want the support allies. Obviously, if you look at my ally build, I have a lot of random allies, most of which I never use, but there are some big ones. Obviously, you see me all the time. BMO, Jake, Monkey Farm, mostly for Jake. Just make money, which is always why they're super useful. That's the main reason I get them, because they make money, it helps, it's just a good idea to have. But then you also will see me use, these guys. I feel like I did talk about them more earlier, but I'm not sure if I actually have. Gumball, and Gumball's much easier to get, much harder to get, which I don't have because Marston's not in my party. I swore Marston was in my party, but she has someone called, what's he called? He is called, I honestly can't forget. He's a vampire in a suit. You probably know his name by that. I'm sure you've seen me use him before. So, Gumball, what he does is he has the same ability as Sam, as Polymorph. Whenever well, you have to get some upgrades for it to work on mobs. So whenever he shoots a balloon, turns into like a balloon animal or whatever, and stops in place. It's really cool to look and really makes the game just more enjoyable. But also, it helps you because it slows down the Moabs. And then the demon guy or vampire guy, he sucks their soul out. A little more dramatic. But in doing so, basically, he just makes it so that they move slower. There might be some other weird things. It's a little unclear. It sort of seems like it might even be camo. I'm not sure. But then there's also Shoko, which is camo. Those are pretty useful. But the stalls are very important, which is another reason why Sam is good. And Ice King's freeze ability at level 7. Hard one to get, obviously, because it requires level 7. Sam's is only level 3, I think, actually. Polymorph might be level 5, but I think it's only level 3. Very, very useful, because they're early game stalls, and a lot of time, by the time you get Sam to 3, probably not Ice King to 7, you might not have these stalling allies, so they can be really important in just generally surviving.
They're outflanking us. Switch to defense maneuvers.
Please don't have me die because of that. That was really dumb. Okay, time to actually get a tower down. Yes, BMOs, I know you have money in you, okay? So, yeah, that's a pretty important one. In terms of trinket selections, just generalized trinket stuff. So that's basically me talking entirely about allies. I spent a while doing that, but that's it's really important. It's a really important part of the game. It's all of your ally stuff. Didn't need to do that. Oh, right. This is what I was going to do. I was going to get Dr. Monkey because he also makes more money. He's pretty useful. He actually decamos Bloons, slows them down, gives them damage over time, and makes them make you more money. He's a pretty nice guy. He's pretty helpful. Heavily recommend him, actually. He's a super rare. But basically, yeah, okay, I'm done. I'm done talking about allies because I've talked too much about them. Back to what I was going to say, trinkets. Early game, in particular, damage. You want to get anything damaged. So, damage rings, it's a rare. It is, in my opinion, by far the best rare in the entire game. 100% want it. As soon as you can get as many of them as you can get, damage rings. They're early game, they're really good damage buffs, they do it. I forgot what it was. I feel like it's Medallion of Brogans, but I'm not sure. It might be Heroic Metal. I actually mentioned it in a couple of videos ago. If you have it, equip to a tower, and PB or Warrior PB are near that tower, they get +1 damage. It's also a rare. It accomplishes the exact same goal. Obviously, it sucks a bit because it requires, well, it requires a specific tower to be in range or whatever. But still, regardless, very, very useful. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. Big ones here, Phoenix Wand. If you ever get off for Phoenix Wand, you've officially moved up to the point where you can beat every single map on Extreme. Almost. Not every single map, that was an exaggeration. Most maps that aren't extremely difficult and don't have Fortified as a quality, you can now beat on Extreme. Phoenix is super broken. I did a whole video talking about mostly Phoenix, but all instant ability trinkets and weapons. Phoenix, super broken. Go for Phoenix if you can. Cosmic Gauntlet was actually Gauntlet of the Hero was actually my first epic. Really useful. I never really used it much. I use it more now, truthfully. But super big one, super helpful. Nowadays, obviously, I mostly use this stuff just in case I'm struggling or backup for a challenge of some sort. But in general, they're very, very useful and will they'll do a lot of damage, truthfully. So, that's generally pretty important. What else? Sam. So my Sam build's actually pretty special. I really like Sam because she's really cheap magic. Usually you can place her down and get Phoenix Wand. That's the main reason. But I also, because for Polymorph and even Mystic Portal are very useful skills. She can get camo, she can get lead. She can be pretty powerful, especially with Student of Fire. She's just an all-around very useful character. Especially early game, I actually got her quite quickly. Speaking of which, talking about early game, you want to get the heroes pretty much as fast as possible. The only heroes that will be hard to get is Warrior Princess Bubblegum requires you to beat all of this section of maps on hard mode. That can take a while. That's not that bad though. Main one, Commander Cassie, you're not getting until Extreme, so Phoenix Wand. If you have Phoenix Wand, it's officially time, go for every single hero. Any you don't have yet, except debatably, yeah, except C4, no, you can do C4 Charlie. Basically all of them. Wait, does C4 Charlie require Extreme Mode? If C4 Charlie requires Extreme Mode, never mind, everyone except him. But if he doesn't, then you can basically go for any hero once you get the Phoenix Wand. And it's certainly good to get them down. My preferable hero build, I'll say this now, for a couple of reasons. Like Flame Princess, like Warrior PB, Princess Bubblegum, and Commander Cassie, mostly for the ally reasons. Been early game, Jake, mostly because of musical instruments, I just like them. Marceline, the main reason I honestly used her was the demon ability, not for much of another reason. It's her allies, really, is what I want, the demon ally. That's the main reason I use her. But also, similarly to Jake, she has a musical instrument, and because she flies, I recently found this, if you have Gauntlet of the Hero, it's a super good combo. Heavily recommend it. Max sometimes and side both, because they're just really good damage. Suit Monkey discounts and really good damage. So really, this party, I would probably switch out Captain Cassie for either Super Monkey or Marceline. And whichever one of those I don't switch out for Captain Cassie, probably switch out for Max. Depends. Sometimes, like with this current build, I'm not using Super Monkey in part because he's just annoying to use because he's really expensive. So you can't actually use him until quite late game. And by that point, you don't necessarily want him because he's good. But he requires you to spend a lot more money and requires you to have a lot more money. Obviously, this is a bit of a bad example of that since this is the one where I'm making a lot of money because I maximize farming. Because, you know, if I'm actually doing in popular mode, it depends. Sometimes I really don't care. But if I'm trying more, especially in videos, I'll tend to farm more with money making. I haven't even talked about that. Wow. Well, I sort of did with allies. Vimo, if you see her another rare, she's an ally, take her 100. So, damage ring, Vimo, there was another damage item I talked about. All of those rares, heavy priorities. Honestly, what I actually did is, I went for my first epic wish orb in terms of crafting the shards, and then I opened rare wish orbs till I got Vimo. Personal opinion, was it worth it? Yes. Honestly, go for it. Unless Jake is your first step, or Cobra. If you get Cobra before you get a Vimo, never mind. And then keep going for epic wish orbs with shards. But otherwise, rares until Vimos is very, very useful. They're just really powerful, and they don't really have a downside. Is there something else? Honestly, starting to forget about things. Weapons. Dr. Monkey's secret. Oh, yeah, Dr. Monkey's secret weapon for Super Monkey. Best dart, get it 100%. Dragon Fang, super OP. Darts are really broken, so the dart heroes. Early game max, but Sai sort of overtakes him, especially once you get Sai to level 7. As well as. Yeah, they're just really useful. Super Monkey as well, but not so much. Commander Cassie, she's useful now, late game, but she's not really that important early game besides for her ally ability, which is mostly used for money making. Really early game, I mentioned this to a couple of you guys when you were asking for my advice with DETs. Since you see most of the time now, I went for camo detecting. I have 2 camo detecting trinkets. Work super well, help me deal with DETs. Plus, if I have ranged units, I even have Super Monkey's, or Robo Monkey Visor, which gives them lead, ice, and I believe it is ghost pop power. Yeah, that's pretty nice. But for base DDT, camo detection, and lead pop power, Flame Princess and Max, early game, these are your friends. Give them all of your damage trinkets, give them all of your power-ups, boost them if you can with, like, Lemon Hope, another super good, super rare ally. Boost them with musical instruments, boost them with anything you can. They will be your main defense. And honestly, if you really wanted them to be, can be your main defense. For the entire game, there's no real necessity to switch them out. Obviously, I generally do, but there's honestly no need to. I think that's mostly talking about them. The other course of weapons, in terms of, I'm actually going to use some abilities here, just to melt this Balloon quickly. On the other terms of weapons, for swords, 40 sword really good. No Thung's good as an early game because it's really nice to just get you started with Finn. So No Thung and 40 sword would be my recommendation. If you saw my epic sword tournament, if you're wondering why I recommend No Thung, it's because it gives an 8 lead pop power, just good damage, and honestly, 40 sword's definitely more useful late game, but early game with what's Finn purpose is generally, which is money making, like to get you your basic money stuff set up. It's often more useful to go with the basic, I don't know what it's called, the basic damage sword, because it's just nice. You don't really need to think as much. Wish orb farming. See, really this is talking about everything. Wish orb farming, it sucked that I mentioned this at the end. Thought Cannon Wand, if you've seen my video about it, you know how excited I was when I first got it. It's really great. Truthfully, none of the other wish orb methods are worth it. When I was first super excited when I saw Psychic Tandem War Elephant. I also have a video where I'm super excited about buying that. It was super good. I was so excited. It didn't provide wish orbs. Truthfully, it didn't do its job, which is what I was super excited for. It has a one-shot too, similar to the Wand of Disbursement, which is also super useful. Only works in its range. It's a long cooldown. It just wasn't worth it in the long run. Really, Thought Cannon Wand, it sucks, but it's your only and best option for wish orb farming. That's sort of all it is to it. Make sure she's at the front. Make sure she's actually hitting mobs like I did then. And if you see there, I did a pretty quick rush with especially with the map where basically by the time mobs were making it to her, half of them had already been popped. So I only really got half the wish orbs I would have got 16. If you're wondering, there's a limit of 30. So all of these topics I covered today, they're very general. So if you want me to make a more detailed guide, or even just if you have any questions about one of these topics in particular, or something I didn't mention, let me know, because I'm happy to help, give advice. I was a little bored, as I said earlier, and I figured this is just a useful thing. I've been meaning to do it for a while. Could have designed this better, planned this out better, but I feel like it's also good just to have an impossible game in the background, either to use an example or just give you entertainment if you don't really care about the tips. But yeah, I really do think I covered just about everything. One thing I mentioned earlier on here was Adventure Crest chests. Every single one of these diamond ones, which is from Purple, which is hard, but every single one of them gives a epic wish orb. So super useful if you're doing grinding. Go for these. Way better than everything else, especially on the easy maps. If you have money making, you have a good epic weapon for a good hero. So like an epic dart, preferably. But if not, Wand of Disbursement works too. An epic wand. Give it to Max. If it's Dr. Monkey, Super Weapon, Super Monkey, or Flame Princess. Buff them if you can, and if you have any money making, that's really the point that you should start doing in Popple. On the easy maps, get the Adventure Crest, get your epic chests, and from that point on, it sort of does like, I forget the expression, but like roll forward, I think it is. So you're struggling for the first ones, but it gets easier and easier as you keep on going on. But once again, as I said, any other topics you want me to talk about or go into more detail, let me know. If enough of you want it, I'll probably turn it into a video, but if only one of you asks, I'll probably just answer you guys' questions. Anyways, have an awesome day. Have a happy New Year's Eve. I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year. Spend some time with your family. Please consider giving the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe and join the Purple Elephant Squad. Makes my day. It's super nice, and I really do appreciate it. You guys have been great about that. I think we're at 225 already. Pretty sure I said thanks for 202 days ago, which is a little mind-blowing. But you guys have made my year, made my day, I think. This definitely helped. I'm no longer in a bad mood, so thank you guys. I know you're not. I know by the time you watch this, it'll probably been hours from now, but still, thanks. Have an incredible day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!